We're back for our next Succeed and Share video series. This series is sponsored by Bank of America, and we are so appreciative of their support of the Chamber and of our local business community, and especially for sponsoring this series. Today, we're talking with John Cates, Chief Operating Officer of Meybohm Real Estate. John, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, Blair, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
So you have some exciting news that has been out in the community, but tell us what your plans for 2021 are.
Yeah, we're excited to launch our new brand. 2021 is an interesting year, I think, for a lot of us. We're trying to put our arms around what happened in 2020 and try and figure out how many of those changes, some of which we wanted to make, some of which we felt like we kind of had to make given the circumstances, how many of those are permanent and how many of those are just things that we needed to do to kind of get our business through the pandemic. So 2021, the real estate market is really, really interesting right now. Inventory is really low, rates are still low, and we just have a ton of people moving here. And so I think for 2021, we're really trying to make sure that we're doing the right planning. Kind of like any city that's growing, you want to take care of your infrastructure. And so I think we're really taking a good hard look at the things that we're doing, some of the things that we had to do to pivot in 2020, and seeing, are those investments in technology? We feel like those are things that are going to continue, and we're glad we did them before the pandemic, but they're starting to dominate our business maybe in a way we didn't predict, or at least predict would happen so quickly. So I think 2021 is really about continuing to make adjustments and really trying to understand were all those adjustments we made last year things that are going to be here going forward, or are those just sort of one-time things that we may need to just have in our back pocket?
Well, sounds like a great strategic plan, and you guys are always ahead of the current real estate industry. Certainly is interesting, and as the market continues to be successful here in our region, we rely on you all to make those good decisions and be the business leaders that you are. So tell us, how do you plan on leveraging your relationship with the Chamber?
Sure. So, the Chamber, I think, is so critical to our success because, I think sometimes different groups will depend on us to tell the story of our area. When somebody's looking to move here, whether it's a new job or new opportunity, housing is obviously a priority. And so a lot of times, whether it's AU or university or doctors or Aiken Regional, a lot of those groups will rely on us when they're trying to recruit people to this area because, it's if the job is great, that's only part of the story. They need to make sure that they want to have a place to live, work, and play. And that the kind of homes and communities and neighborhoods and amenity access that they need are all readily available. And so I think the pandemic has forced us to become more collaborative. I think that's true of almost any industry, but particularly our industry. And so the way that we're using the Chamber is, I think, deepening those relationships. It's not just, hey, I know somebody at this business or this group, but how can we help each other in a mutually beneficial way? We're even seeing that with other real estate companies. How can we collaborate together because we may have a product type that they don't. We may have a subdivision that's come online before theirs, but it all is good to grow together. Whether it's commercial, residential, whatever that might be, development. I think the Chamber is really, really allowing us to have a platform on which we can help our area grow because we don't need to compete over people before they get here. Let's get them here first, then we can fight over them. So I think those are some of the ways that the Chamber is really helping us. It's not just relationships, it's partnerships. And I think that's one of the things that we're really focused on for this year and beyond.
I love that. Collaboration is such a key word, and I think that's something that's really come out of 2022, as realizing that we all need to rely on each other and draw on each other's strengths. And so I think that's so critical to growth, and I'm glad that you see the Chamber as a partner. I think beyond just having your staff volunteer and give back and be a part of the Chamber, the fact that you are contributing to two of our main core mission priorities, which is economic development and workforce development, with getting that talent here and providing affordable housing and options. It's just that we have that much more of the deeper relationship beyond just the volunteers and the staff that you allow to serve in the Chamber. So thank you. And tell us finally, what are your plans for growth for 2021?
Yeah, so like I said a little earlier, we just launched our brand new brand identity. We're Stewart here locally, helped us through that process, and it's a great time to be talking about Meybohm. I mean, I think we wanted our brand has not really been updated in a few decades. We wanted a mark, which is that little M you can kind of see at the bottom. But that M is really great because it allows us to tell our story. Each of those different pieces in that M that's a different color represents the 5 different areas of our business. And so we wanted everybody in our company to have an elevator pitch whenever you're somewhere, because we're encountering so many new people that are moving to our area who may not know who Meybohm is. It allows us a really quick 2-minute piece to be able to say, look, here's what we do in each of those pieces. And so, I think right now we're at a very exciting time in our company and in our market. We want Meybohm to be the place to be. That's kind of the hashtag that we've been using. And this rebrand allows us to say, look, we're not turning our back on 4 decades of success in community service, but the real estate industry is changing. The consumer is changing. There's no doubt about that. And we have tried to be on the forefront and on the cutting edge of all of that change. And so I think going forward, this rebrand is a really good signal to the outside world and internally that we're still the same great company, but we have a lot of people that we've brought in, a lot of new people, fresh faces and fresh ideas. And we're moving forward. We're not going to be stuck in our ways. We're not going to be stuck in the past, even though we have a great history that we rely on that foundation of integrity and trust and honesty and doing what we say we're going to do. We're moving forward. And we've made huge investments in technology and in our people to allow us to continue to be the #1 real estate company in our area. But that new image and brand kind of shows that some changes are going to be needed and changes are taking place.
I love the fresh new look. And I think the point that was made about the fact that you have such an established brand in the community, of how you take that and rebrand an established brand with still maintaining the integrity of the original and all of the facets that went into that. So congratulations. That's a huge accomplishment. You have a wonderful team to execute and go make all those changes. And we love that it represents you all staying current and ahead of the game. Thanks so much for your time, John.
Thank you, Blair. I appreciate it.